Spencer, Jesse L. Martin, Joe West. Next up, we've got Iris Buzz, Candace Patton. Come on out here. And next up, we've got Barry Allen himself, Grant Gustin. And next, Harrison Wells, we've got Mr. Tom Cavanaugh. And next, we've got Danielle Panabaker. I don't know what we're gonna call her yet this season. Killer Frost, Caitlin Snow, we'll have to see. And finally, we've got Cisco, aka with a very good saunter onto the stage. That was perfect. It's still going. The saunter is still going. I like it a lot. Well, welcome everybody. We're so excited to have you here and talk a little bit about last season and obviously get into the new season as well. I kind of want to jump in from the beginning and talk about last season feeling very different than the other two seasons that we've had. It got a little bit darker, but for all of you guys on the panel, kind of just jump in. How much fun was that for you, or what did you love about kind of going a little bit darker, getting a little more emotional?
Go.
It's so much more fun to be bad. It was fun. I got to be Killer Frost and take it, a little bit darker, a little bit edgier. That was great.
Well, and kind of jumping off of that and joking about some of the stuff that we saw, we've seen you go full Killer Frost. We've seen full Caitlin Snow. And I kind of have come up with a new name. Do you think this new season she's going to be like Light Flurries or something? Like, what's her next name?
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys, for that laugh.
Great job, Tim.
You know, I tried something.
You're on fire.
Smattering.
Where is she going to be in the next season, kind of?
I mean, I don't know. Who out there likes Caitlin Snow? And who likes Killer Frost? Guys, good news. No one's going to be disappointed.
That was a good answer. It was
Thank
very
you.
politically correct. She didn't give too much away.
Thanks. I've been practicing all day.
I love it. So we obviously got full dark from Caitlin Snow, Killer Frost last season. Also Savitar obviously being the big bad of the season. For all of you guys, when did you know that it was actually going to be a different version of Barry, and how did that kind of impact your acting on the show?
I knew pretty early on. It didn't obviously affect too much for me because Barry didn't know. But yeah, I knew pretty early on.
Yeah.
Did everybody know pretty early on?
I think so.
Yeah.
Knew
We're
that-
not good at keeping
That it
secrets,
was,
so.
that it was going to be me.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
told me like
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah, I 100%. I'm
Yeah.
really bad at keeping secrets.
Oh, that's how that stuff
Yeah,
travels.
exactly.
I was like, basically Todd's like, and that's why we don't tell Grant anything.
Exactly.
But one of my favorite scenes on this season as well was obviously when Grant, you were acting against yourself. Can you talk a little bit about doing that scene? Did you have another actor in there? What was that like for you playing both sides?
Yeah, it was. We had this guy Andrew Dunbar that was awesome. It was really fun. Tom Cavanaugh, right here. This guy.
Yep.
He directed that episode. Yeah. So that made it a lot easier because we obviously have a very strong working relationship, and we
A
also
strong relationship also.
just get
yeah.
along. Yeah.
In general, we
and
understand.
it wasn't necessarily easy material, and having a scene with yourself that's emotionally charged.
No, I can speak to a little bit because he won't compliment himself, but Grant is a phenomenal actor, and then when you see him add the nuances and let me just finish.
Okay. All right.
And the smaller layers between the two, and then bring it, both of them, but the scenes that he had to do when he was playing against himself were very strong and emotional and powerful scenes, and to watch him hour after hour bring the same energy for one character and then match it with this different energy but equally powerful energy, it was an acting clinic. It was great to watch.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Is that all? You don't have anything more to say?
And also, you're very handsome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and speaking of playing different versions of yourself, Tom, we got to see so many different versions of Harrison from all different times. I don't know which one is my favorite, but what was that like for you, kind of jumping in between all those different versions?
Well, it turns out WB ran the numbers, and 33 times they ran the numbers, and they found that the show's success runs inversely to how many Wellses I play. It's really, and basically they also took from that to screen time alone. If I'm on the show Dips, So it doesn't really matter what I think. It seems like right now we're going to concentrate on different things
Right.
Got it. I got
for the good of the show.
it. I love it. Well,
There's 1,000 different wells, and we'll introduce some more, I'm sure, as the season progresses. Yeah. So.
I only can imagine you practicing and figuring out what those other versions are. Does he come to you, Todd, and he's just like, how about this one?
Poor Todd. Poor Todd.
He does. He actually sent me a video one time of like 4 or 5 different Wellses. That was awesome.
Awesome is one word for it.
For the video message? Is
Video
that
message.
Yeah, I like Cowboy Wells.
Oh, I like French
Cowboy
wells.
Yeah.
He needs to make a comeback.
Oh my gosh, I feel
Notice
like
that
that.
nobody is pulling for the mime. Nobody wants a mime. And the
I
mimes
mean-
out there can't
Right.
protest, can you?
That was funny.
That was funny.
All of those versions need to be on the extras. I'm just saying that right now, so fingers crossed for that. Candace, let's talk a little bit about obviously, they've said that there's not too many secrets between you guys, but when did you know that your character was actually going to survive?
Again, very early on because of Grant Gustin. Literally, no producer has ever told me that I wasn't gonna die. Thanks for that.
I remember
Todd.
telling him, I was like, you should tell Candace because she's going to read that script. And
Yeah,
panic.
no one told me. So thanks for Grant. He came in pretty early. He was
I
like,
think
listen,
they
you're
eventually told you. I just told
No.
you first. Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
But Grant was like,
Come
there's
on,
a
Todd.
script coming up, you're gonna die, but you're not really gonna die,
Yeah.
so don't worry, you've got a job. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, I can live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty early on I knew I was safe.
Looking out.
Yeah, good looking out.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, bro.
What, Todd?
Like, did we seriously not tell you? I
You
feel
did
really
not
bad.
tell me.
Well, it's like at least the love between you guys is real
Yeah.
in real life and on the show. Grant's like, I'm gonna save her in real
Yeah.
life too.
Exactly.
I love it. I love hearing about the villains that you guys are going to bring because obviously it changes the dynamic of what Team Flash has to do. What is it this season that you guys are really trying to go for in that way? Because last year obviously was Savitar and it was Barry against Barry and really just trying to save Iris.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, this year it's with 3 speedsters in a row that we did. We wanted to change it up. So the Thinker, the way that we're sort of explaining it is it's the fastest man alive versus the fastest mind alive.
Oh.
That was a good for people like, yeah.
We're also, I mean, a big thing this year is we're really trying to lighten the tone a little bit. Last year it got pretty dark, and we want to get back to the jokes.
And speaking of lightening the tone up a bit for the next season, Grant, were you just like, yeah, next season I'm in the Speed Force, peace out, guys?
Yeah, I thought I was going to show up like
Never.
midway through the season, yeah. But no, I'm on the show, guys. Yeah.
If we can get into it a little more too, where are we going to pick up? Because obviously, Kenyon, the season ended with you kind of taking over the mantle of the Flash in Central City. Where do we pick up with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of how I view it is like Wally had to step up, not necessarily step forward. I think the whole team has to come together and be like, how do we make this machine work without the guy that was at our lead, you know? And so everyone's sort of just having to band together and do what we can with this sort of like sad situation and find the love and find the light wherever it is possible. So I think Wally's sort of growing up, he's finding a sense of freedom and self-confidence with himself that isn't as cocky as it was last time. But yeah, I think they're really just trying to be there for each other to deal with this and navigate this whole situation. Love you guys too.
And for each of you guys, for the different characters, because obviously you're going to have to go into the season, and we saw some of it in that little teaser trailer. Everyone dealing with the fact that Barry is gone. How does that affect each of your characters moving forward? If you could share any of that.
Sad he's gone.
Yeah, well, okay, for me, Iris, I mean, she's devastated.
You play Iris?
I play Iris. Yeah. She's devastated that he's gone into the Speed Force and that they didn't really have a discussion about it. He just took off and left. So we pick up season 4. Iris has kind of focused her energy on being the leader of Team Flash, actually. She kind of steps up and leads the team, which is really, really cool. Yeah.
I love it. And I think it's a cool kind of transition from last season where it's like, not that you couldn't save yourself, you were working too, but the whole team was working together to save you, and now you get to be the one who's like, let's all do this together.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
And I'm a nerd about this stuff. I get really
I love it. I love it, girl.
Danielle, for Killer Frost at this point, can you talk at all about where she's gone, where she's been? Because obviously she says she's leaving, but we saw her in that footage.
But who did you see?
You've said nothing today.
You're welcome.
You're like a master of correct answer. You're so good.
I'm really excited for this season. You guys?
God, how proud of you are. How proud of
She's
you are.
doing amazing. Yeah.
She's not gonna break.
I'm gonna guess that Danielle knows all the secrets on the show. She's the one who keeps her lips sealed.
Yes, that's true.
That is true.
That is usually true.
Like I said, obviously I'm a huge fan of the show. For you guys being on it, I know that you have moments that really stand out for you. Is there a scene in particular, an episode for each of you guys that really sticks out from last season?
I really liked getting to do the episode that Tom directed, where we got to go 8 years in the future and play versions of our characters, in a what-if situation. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to play, and revisit those sets, in this weird way where they're all destroyed and there's leaves everywhere, and you know what I mean? It's really cool.
And that was fun for me personally, for favorite moments. Just watching, this cast do the, like normally when you're in a scene, you're involved, so you're playing your character. You're not. You're. That's my dad.
Dad, come on.
So we're lunch. What?
It's not time.
Yeah, tell him.
It's not time yet.
He's
Dad.
famous. You gotta listen to him, Dad.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, but to watch them when you're at the monitor and you're not in the scene, just watch them act and perform. It's there's a stunning amount of talent to be able to witness and be part of it on a daily basis. It just felt like a real privilege.
Yeah, the prison scene for me in that episode was really fun. I was in prison.
Oh, you were amazing.
Also,
there was also
Kevin
one moment.
Smith's
There was one moment we did a team flash thing. Where Grant, myself, Carlos,
Teared
Tom,
up.
Tom Felton. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. A lot of times we colloquially refer to ourselves as Team Flash.
Yeah.
This is Team Flash, and there was a moment where thanks. We all we'd fashion this moment where we all kind of put our hands in. And we say, Team Flash, and Grant's beside me, and we hadn't rehearsed it, because I said, guys, I want to try this thing.
We were all like, really?
Put our hands in it, and then we put our hands in it, we said Team Flash, and I started crying, basically. Yeah. And he mocked me, so that made it even better.
You were mostly crying because of the real life situation of what we had all been
Yeah.
through, and
Yeah.
that's it. It got me.
Team
too.
Flash.
It was just,
Yeah.
Team Flash, and he's a sweet guy.
I love that because for me, for sure, it comes across so much on the show that you guys really do have a huge love for each other and a huge support. And as you guys have said, so much of it is the acting that you guys keep pushing each other further and further. And I think the emotions that we saw last season, it stood out so much for each and every one of you guys on the panel up here and for all the guest stars and co-stars as well. What were the moments for the rest of you guys that really stood out from last season?
God, I had so many.
Yeah, for me, the scene you brought up was it was the most challenging scene I did last year in Tom's episode, just because I was my own scene partner, and there was a crazy wig, and it was a lot of, both guys had a lot to say, so
Yeah.
it was challenging.
One guy was leaving, one guy was broken, one guy was giving up. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think for me, Flashpoint, the first episode of the season, again, there was something kind of light and fun about it, and I always enjoyed those moments on the show. It was also really cool to have that brother-sister.
Crime fighting unit.
I'd have to say the last episode of the season, just because it was so damn emotional.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to think about that. Like, where would we go from there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he literally walks away from all of us, including his fiance, into a place where he may never ever return, where do we go from there? We're finding out now, but
Well, not everything. We're finding out little pieces. We'll find out more.
Well, we found out.
Yeah, I'm
No, Grant doesn't know anything. Like.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, for me it was Flashpoint because it was the first time I suited up as Kid Flash, and it was so I was very full of lots of emotions. I was very afraid, I was very nervous, and I was also so excited because it's like, obviously that was a very cool dream of mine as a kid, so I still obviously feel like a kid, so it feels very fitting, yeah.
Grant, did you give him any advice for the first time he was putting on the suit?
Like stupid, like practical advice, like about your neck and stuff, and like
You helped me
like,
you helped me do the sliding.
That's right. We worked on the slide. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm
Yeah,
still trying to
sliding
get it.
in's a thing. But I remember
Still trying to
like
get
one
it.
of your first shots was like laying in the dumpster, and I was like, okay, look, this is what you can do to like work the neck, because the suits are kind of, you know, pain in the butt.
Well, I mean, you need somebody to tell you that because it's like when you're taking an Instagram photo and you're like,
Yeah.
Can you make sure I look really good? And you're like,
Exactly.
this is
That's
gonna
the
look good
most
on the show.
important thing, yeah, the
Yeah.
Instagram photo for your first day.
The suit has to look as good as it possibly can.
Sure.
So good advice, Grant.
Yeah. Well.
Todd, did you have a favorite moment from last season?
I think for me, maybe it was the musical, just that episode, because for me, when Greg and Andrew were like, yeah, you and your brother are gonna write this one, we're like, wait, what? Like, we don't know anything about musicals. So it was a challenge, but it was a lot of fun, and to you know, watch dailies and see these guys, it was a pretty amazing experience.
Well, I know that everybody out here has some awesome favorite moments from last season as well. So right now what we're going to do is take some questions from you guys for our panel up here. I don't know, where are you guys going to be? Oh, we've already...
Wow.
I mean, Grant, do you need to give him some advice on that too?
No, he looks tight.
What's your name and what's your question?
Hey, Flash.
My name is Alex Lugo. I'm actually from Mexico.
Word.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Work that. I actually met you guys last year. This is my second year in Comic-Con. So excited.
Welcome
Love
back.
you guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love
The
you.
question is, are there going to be any more crossovers?
Yes.
That was the fastest question to answer of all time.
He is the fastest man alive.
Okay, we're being rushed. So,
We see you
Fastest
everywhere.
question.
Don't rush them. Bye.
I'm cosplayers are right
I
now.
love it.
Thank you. My question was if Iris is gonna play a role in getting Barry out of the Speed Force.
Great question.
Great question. Yeah, to a degree, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're
Guys, honestly, I can't remember. That's why I'm taking so long to answer this question.
Wow.
Judge Johnson's due. But yes, she does. She's, like I said, she's kind of boss lady at Team Flash now, so she's an active participant in getting her man out of the Speed Force, for sure.
Hi.
Hi.
That's a sweet fact.
All right, what's your name and what's your question?
I'm Lindsay. I kind of have a question about the musical episode. I don't know if you remember last year at the panel, someone shouted, Flash the musical?
Yep.
That was me. And
Well, they definitely heard it.
would you say, is it the musical talent behind everyone that was the inspiration, or say...
It was you.
It
was you.
No, I'm sure it was musical talent with Graham being on Glee, is that right? And then...
You're in Glee.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Lindsay, shout out something else and we'll do that too.
I didn't hear
I guess she was just trying to ask, where's the inspiration from? Where did the inspiration come from for the musical episode?
You know, it's just when you have a cast like this that can do anything. You know, and it's also Greg Berlanti is a huge lover of musicals, and so it was really his brainchild behind it. So you know, you gotta thank Greg.
All right, who is our next question asker? What's your name?
Aiden?
Hi, Aiden. What's your question?
We just met you, Aiden, didn't we?
Aiden, nice hat, nice shirt.
Yes, I was there for him.
Yeah, good to see you. Again.
When is gonna be the next musical?
Todd?
I think.
Todd?
Right now, we don't have any plans.
And it's going to be whenever Lindsay shouts it out. And then we're going to do that. Next season. Thank you.
Next season 5.
Okay, it's
Season
next
5.
Okay.
The answer is season 5.
Hi, how you doing? What's your name? What's your question?
The Angel in the house here. Hi guys, you guys are awesome.
What's up?
I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, but Tom, the way that you have differentiated all of the different wells has been some of the greatest acting that I've ever witnessed. And I want to know, as an actor, what do you do to prepare for those type of differentiations?
Well, first off, thank you. A lot of times I get a little more credit than I deserve. You have to remember that there's a team of people writing these.
It's not true. Let's shake my head.
You know, there's a team of people trying to forge what the storylines are, not just for me, but for, you know, everybody here. And they spend a lot of time in the writer's room coming up with those kind of things, and then they write the words, and then I hit a mark and say those words, and people think that maybe I created those words, but I didn't necessarily, you know. And so for me, when coming up with the different wells, the one thing I've tried to do is, because everybody on the stage is so winning, when coming up with Harry, I thought, well, maybe if there was a guy who's a bit of a jackass, you know, that would help, because we need a little bit of antagonism, a daily antagonist. And then in season 3, we were a little darker, and I thought maybe if we had a little bit more humor, there might be a place for that. And then season 4, I'm just going to sing the whole time. Thank you, Grant.
You're welcome.
Justin.
I'm not going to sing all
That's just a little preview of what's to come. What's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name is Jennifer. And through the Miracle Netflix, I recently caught up, and I'm now a big fan.
Thank you, Netflix.
Yes, thank you. I'm still confused, and I was hoping somebody might be able to explain how Savitar existed in the first place. If you had to kill Iris to exist, when exactly did Iris die?
Girl, let it go. Girl, let it go. Todd?
Do you watch Doctor Who?
Who's
that?
Dr. Who?
That's his first name.
Something
That's his
else.
first name.
Who?
There's a reason why we're not doing time travel anymore in season 4.
Right.
We'll have to have a sidebar. It's a long, long explanation.
I'm like, that's when you just say time travel.
Timey-wimey.
I've tried to.
Timey-wimey.
Many times, yeah. I've moved on.
Okay, what's your name? And this is our last question. What's your name and what's your question?
My name's Devlin, and I just wanted to say, Grant, you're my hero.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the Flash. So my question is for Todd and Tom. If we've seen so many versions of Harrison Wells, and that Harry is Jesse Quick's father, so I was wondering maybe on another Earth we'll see Johnny Quick as Tom Cavanaugh as a speedster.
First off, I love that you complimented Grant first and got a question in. I like that. Yeah, I feel like
Me too.
one of the things we've done is we've organically created, like you said, all these different, the multiverse, all these different options. Every Earth is an option, and so yeah, Johnny Quick is an option. Todd, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, no, I mean, we like to pull from all the characters from the comic book. So, I mean, there's a whole list of people that we want to do in the future. Whether that happens sooner than later is yet to be determined. But yeah, there's a whole list of potential people that Tom could play.